What if everything you've heard about the Tower of Babel is only part of the story? For thousands of years, the biblical account has been told as a cautionary tale of human pride. A massive tower rises toward the heavens. God intervenes. Languages are confused. Humanity is scattered. Tonight, we explore the mystery of Nimrod, the legendary ruler behind the Tower of Babel. Because the real reason may be far stranger than the story most people know. To understand the tower, we must first understand the man behind it. Nimrod appears in the book of Genesis as a powerful ruler and hunter. The Bible describes him as a mighty hunter before the Lord. According to several Jewish, Christian, and later historical writings, Nimrod was more than a king. He was a conqueror, a nation builder, a ruler who sought to unite humanity under a single government. After the Great Flood, human civilization was rebuilding. Among them was Babel, located in the land of Shinar, generally associated with ancient Mesopotamia, and at the center of this growing civilization stood Nimrod, a man whose ambitions may have extended far beyond ordinary kingship. The story unfolds only a few generations after Noah. Humanity shared one language, one culture, one collective identity. Imagine a world where every person could communicate perfectly with every other person. Such unity gave humanity extraordinary power. The book of Genesis records the people's words. "Come, let us build ourselves a city, and a tower whose top reaches unto heaven." Most people focus on the phrase, "reach unto heaven," but the next part may reveal their true motivation, so that we may make a name for ourselves, and not be scattered over the face of the whole earth. God had instructed humanity to spread across the earth, but the builders wanted the opposite. They wanted centralization, unity, control, and perhaps Nimrod saw an opportunity. Unlike any ruler before him, many scholars believe the tower itself was only part of a larger project. The city may have been the real goal, a permanent center of power, the world's first centralized civilization. Ancient Mesopotamian rulers often built enormous temple towers called ziggurats. These structures served as religious and political symbols. The Tower of Babel may have been one such monument, but unlike ordinary temples, Babel carried a unique message. Humanity no longer needed divine guidance. Humanity could create its own destiny. If Nimrod was indeed seeking world leadership, the tower may have served as a symbol of human independence, a monument declaring that mankind would determine its future without God. One ancient tradition offers an even more dramatic explanation. Some early writings suggest Nimrod viewed God as the cause of the flood. According to these accounts, he feared another divine judgment. The tower was therefore designed not merely as a symbol of power, but as protection, a fortress, a declaration of resistance. Some legends even claim the builders intended the tower as a means of attacking heaven itself, whether taken literally or symbolically. The message remains clear. The tower represented rebellion, humanity gathering together to challenge the order established after the flood. Instead of obedience, there was defiance. Instead of spreading across the earth, there was consolidation. Instead of trust, there was self-reliance. And according to the biblical narrative, this growing unity had dangerous potential. The Bible records a remarkable statement. The people are one, and they all have one language. Then comes an even more striking observation. Nothing they plan to do will be impossible for them. This verse has puzzled scholars for centuries. Why would unity be considered dangerous? Some believe the concern was not technology itself. It was direction. A united humanity, moving toward corruption, could achieve enormous influence. The issue was not cooperation. It was collective rebellion. If the entire world followed a path away from divine purpose, the consequences could be immense. The confusion of languages, therefore, acted as a reset, not a destruction of humanity, a limitation on centralized power, a barrier against the single authority controlling everyone. Then came one of the most dramatic moments in biblical history. People who had spoken together all their lives suddenly could not understand one another. Construction stopped. Confusion spread. Groups separated. Communities formed. Civilizations emerged. Languages diversified. The city that was meant to unite humanity became the very reason humanity scattered. And from that scattering came the ancient nations of the world. The story explains not only the fall of Babel, but also the origins of cultural diversity itself. Whether viewed as history, theology, or symbolic narrative, the impact of the story remains profound. For centuries, researchers have searched for clues. Ancient Babylon contained enormous ziggurats that resembled the biblical description. One candidate is Etemenanki. Its name roughly translates to the house of the foundation of heaven and earth. Ancient records describe a towering structure that dominated Babylon's skyline, though no definitive proof connects it directly to Babel. The similarities are fascinating. The region, the architecture, the symbolism, all echoed the biblical account. Some historians argue the Babel story may have been inspired by such structures. Others believe it preserves the memory of an actual historical event. The truth remains one of archaeology's greatest mysteries. Perhaps the most fascinating aspect of Babel is how relevant it feels today. For the first time since ancient times, humanity is becoming increasingly interconnected. Technology bridges continents. Communication happens instantly. Global systems influence billions of lives. In many ways, the world is experiencing a level of unity unprecedented in history. This has led some thinkers to revisit the Babel narrative, not because skyscrapers are reaching heaven, but because the story raises timeless questions. How should power be used? Who should guide civilization? What happens when ambition outpaces wisdom? And can unity become dangerous when concentrated in the wrong hands? So why did Nimrod really build the Tower of Babel? The answer depends on which tradition you follow. Perhaps it was a political project. Perhaps it was a religious monument. Perhaps it was an act of rebellion. Or perhaps it was humanity's first attempt to create a unified world under a single vision, whatever the truth may be. The story of Babel continues to captivate people, thousands of years later, because at its heart, it is not merely a story about a tower. It is a story about ambition, power, unity, control, and the eternal question of how far humanity should go in pursuit of its greatest dreams. The tower itself may have vanished long ago, but the questions it raised remain more relevant than ever. What do you think Nimrod's real goal was? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this documentary, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more ancient mysteries and hidden history.